kills them are poor driving and maintenance habits. The reality is, your car's lifespan depends on how you care for it. That's why one vehicle feels completely exhausted at 100,000 miles, while another is still running strong past 300,000. No need to stress, because I'm going to share 15 simple methods to revive your ride, cut down costly repairs, and make it perform like new again. 10. Replace the air filter. Your engine survives on air, and the filter is its only gateway to fresh oxygen. When that filter is packed with dust, leaves, and road debris, the engine struggles to breathe, like you trying to sprint upstairs with a pillow over your face. The end result? Weaker performance, higher fuel consumption, and ugly noises that sound like your motor's on its last legs. Picture this. Would you try to run a marathon while sucking air through a filthy rag? That's what your car goes through with a clogged filter. Worse still, every speck of dirt that sneaks past acts like sandpaper grinding down your cylinders. Here's the mistake most drivers make. They don't even think about the filter until the car feels like it's limping on half its power. Don't fall into that trap. Inspect it around every 12,000 to 15,000 miles, or even sooner if you're often driving in dusty areas or construction zones. Just pop open the hood, locate the airbox, release the clips, and check it. If it looks like it's been through a desert storm, swap it out. For about $25, you'll instantly bring back lost horsepower and stop wasting money at the pump. But keep in mind, a fresh filter won't fix anything if the real problem lies somewhere else. 9. Troubleshoot like a mechanic. The real gap between savvy car owners and those who get overcharged at the repair shop is simple. The savvy ones already know the issue before they show up. Your car's onboard computer is constantly tracking dozens of sensors, and when something goes wrong, it logs a code that points straight to the problem. Many shops will bill you $150 just to hook up the same scanner you could own for $50. That's like paying someone to read your emails. The data is sitting there, you just need a way to check it. Pick up a reliable OBD2 scanner, not the bargain bin $20 gadget, but one that shows live readings and clears codes. The port is usually under the steering wheel. Plug it in, and you'll see exactly what the system is reporting. For example, a P0301 means cylinder 1 is misfiring, while a P0171 points to a lean fuel mixture. Suddenly, what could have been an $800 diagnostic bill is replaced by a $5 scan you did in your driveway. Of course, here's the catch. Older cars sometimes spit out random ghost codes that don't really mean anything. But having that information in your hands gives you leverage, and that leverage saves real money. Now that you can identify the issue, let's move on to one of the most ignored problems. 8. Cleaning the throttle body thoroughly. Carbon buildup starts sneaking into your throttle body by 30,000 miles, but most people ignore it until 75,000 or more. At that point, it's like trying to breathe through a straw stuffed with peanut butter. Your idle feels shaky, throttle response lags like old dial-up internet, and your fuel economy tanks. Think of the throttle body as your engine's airway. When it's clogged, every breath the engine takes is a fight. The butterfly valve needs to swing open and shut easily, but carbon buildup makes it stick like a rusty door hinge. Here's the golden rule. Disconnect the battery first. Skip this step, and you'll be dealing with a messy recalibration headache. After that, pull off the intake hose, spray on throttle body cleaner, let it soak, and scrub gently with a rag or toothbrush. You'll see black sludge wipe away like eyeliner in a makeover show. Let it dry, reassemble everything, and suddenly your engine feels smooth and responsive again. And if you think that carbon buildup was bad, just wait until you look inside your fuel system. 7. Swapping out the fuel filter. The fuel filter's job is simple. Keep contaminants out of the engine. But once it clogs, it does the exact opposite. I've seen filters so packed with grime they looked like a pudding cup. That mess doesn't just choke fuel flow. It burns out fuel pumps, clogs injectors, and wrecks your MPG. Picture the fuel filter like a coffee filter for your car. When it's clogged, instead of smooth espresso, you're left with bitter sludge. Your fuel pump has to strain just to push fuel through, wearing itself out in the process. Most vehicles need a fresh filter every 30,000 to 60,000 miles, but if you run bargain gas or drive dusty roads often, replace it sooner. Always stick to OEM or trusted brands like Bosch or Motorcraft. Here's the catch. Those $5 bargain bin filters can't handle ethanol. They break down and shed fibers into your system like confetti at a funeral. And if you think that sounds bad, wait until you see the damage one tiny valve can cause when it fails. 6. Check and clean the PCV valve. This little $10 component manages the pressure inside your engine's crankcase. When it quits doing its job, pressure builds like a loaded pressure cooker. Seals start bursting, and oil disappears quicker than your weekend paycheck. I've seen motors guzzle a quart every 1,000 miles because of this single tiny valve. Think of the PCV valve as the safety release on a steam boiler. If it's clogged or stuck, harmful gases and pressure get trapped with nowhere to go, so they force their way out through weak seals, leaving you with costly leaks. Testing it is easy. Pull it out of the valve cover and shake it. A clear rattle means it's still good. No sound or a dull thud means it's jammed. Spray some carb cleaner through it, let it soak, shake out the grime, then pop it back in. It takes less than 5 minutes, costs less than your morning coffee, and can prevent your engine from suffocating on its own fumes. And speaking of small parts, let's move to the cap that could be wrecking your fuel system. 5. The gas cap that's wrecking your engine. The twist-on cap you haven't touched since last decade? It might be slowly sabotaging your fuel system. When it's cracked, loose, or just grimy, it lets air sneak into the tank like a gatecrasher at a party. That extra air messes with the fuel mixture, leading to rough idles, hesitation, and the dreaded check engine light that leaves you questioning everything. Your fuel system depends on holding the right pressure. When that seal fails, it's like trying to sip a drink through a straw full of holes. The engine can't deliver fuel the way it was designed, and performance takes a hit. The fix? Spray some WD-40 on a cloth, never directly, and wipe the threads and rubber seal clean. Also, make sure the cap is the correct type. Some vehicles need vented versions, others don't. Use the wrong one, and you'll either build too much pressure or lose it entirely. And here's a pro tip. Upgrade to a Viton sealed cap if you want something tougher than your loan term. But if you think that's sneaky, wait until you learn about the tiny sensor that's been feeding your engine bad info.